ear training is the most important part of music education. And I read that and I thought, I guess so.
So try it again, start singing, hold the button, release the button.
Yes.
Oh, I did the opposite.
But I didn't have a lot of heart or feel or fluency of music, a natural feel for it.
Okay, shows me the pitch.
Yeah.
I see that. That's cool.
That's how you know if you've got it or not. If there's any hesitation, if there's any sense of then no, you don't know it, of course.
So I can unlock level 2, which has now the 5th.
Then the job is done. I can figure out a melody without guessing. I always know exactly what it is.
There's one thing that changes how you produce music is definitely ear training. And to talk a little bit about that, I'm bringing today my friend Max Connie. He's a longtime friend, probably one of my first friends when I came to Canada. Thanks for joining this conversation.
Thanks so much, Chris. I'm very stoked to be here. We've been wanting to do something like this for a long time, and it's happening.
Max is a music producer, a musician, guitar player, plays the keyboard, composer, a mentor for me. And we've had bands together. We like to hang out and talk about everything. So he has a YouTube channel too, Max Connie. You definitely should subscribe to Max, and you can always use the auto translate thing. Now I think some of your videos have like Portuguese soundtrack, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So
great.
Funny enough, this video is being recorded in English. I'm speaking in English, but we're doing some magic with AI to translate myself back to Portuguese. So let's see how it goes. So Max, what was your biggest discovery and your music journey? What you think helped you most become the musician that you're aspiring to be, and like to be more fluid in your composition and your music playing independent of any instruments?
Well, I came early on from a very sort of intellectual approach to music, and I just sort of wanted to be the best guitar player in the world. That's as a teenager, of course. What else would you want to do? Shredding and, jamming with my friends, writing music. But really, it was kind of a competition in a way. And through that, I ended up practicing a lot, I ended up studying a lot, I ended up becoming pretty good at playing guitar. But I didn't have any, what I would now term sort of, maybe not any, but I didn't have a lot of heart or feel or fluency of music, a natural feel for it. And it wasn't until I was probably like 19 or 20, so many years into music, many years even into teaching music, that I came across a blog post somewhere that said something to the effect of, ear training is the most important part of music education. And I read that and I thought, I guess so. So that was the beginning of like a whole new chapter in my musical life where I said, maybe it's possible to engage with music in its own language and the level of sound and the level of feeling, and then have sort of a translation between the mind and the world of feeling.
You ended up creating this app, Sonofield, that is fast becoming the standard of ear training in some groups, for sure in your Discord channel. So we're going to leave his Discord channel here. And it's very exciting to see how fast your app is growing, just because you put so much love and effort on that. And it's a free app in terms of like the most basic levels. So you will understand what we mean about ear training and the app. I think the first thing we need to talk about is tonic recognition, right?
Yeah, I think so. The sense that a lot of people have this ability to be able to, even non-musicians can tell which note in a key is the one that resolves everything, that completes everything. If you just hear like this, that feeling right there, that before you go to sing it is in you and says, that feeling is what we call the tonic. The tonic is the generating tone of a key. It's the home note of any key. So being able to recognize a tonic and being able to pick out a tonic when you hear a piece of music that is like it's on the radio and you can sing the tonic or at least recognize it when you hear it, that's like super high on my priority list of important sort of oral skills for any musician.
And you're saying like it's very important to somehow internalize the sound and be able to reproduce that. And for many, many years, I tried singing lessons and I always failed miserably. And I think I had some problem with, I don't know, like my vocal cords or whatever. And then I start doing some ear training in college. And I came back to college last year. And suddenly everything started open up. Like bands now were in tune, which I had no idea if they were or not. I was just bending the note. Now, like, I don't know, it's so easy to figure out music and talk music and internalize, speak music. Now, people say, oh, I want to make that music that I hear. Like, most of people don't hear music. They think they hear music. And that's the thing. My inner ear didn't exist. I was just trying to fish notes out of here and there to match the pitch. I was just matching pitch, I didn't have an inner ear.
Yeah, so we call this audiation. Musical imagination is called audiation. And of course, that's part of the whole thing is like, and especially if you're wanting to compose music, that, which is my whole life, being able to imagine with some degree of clarity, like actual notes, chords, feelings, whatever it is one thing. And of course, that's a whole skill that needs to be trained. But as well, being able to translate, even if it's vague, even if there's some vague sense of like, it's kind of like this, it's possible to take the it's kind of like this and find exactly what it is. But if you don't have a translation layer between that, which is what ear training provides, then it's just frustrating. And you end up usually writing or improvising or playing stuff that is physically easy to do, like shapes and patterns and things you can see and ideas you've memorized. I know that this works and this works and this works and this works, so I'll play them in this order. But that's not fluency in music, right? That's just memorizing stuff and repeating it in different orders. Not to say that's not important too, sure, but there's some degree of freedom that occurs through ear training where the sense is you become more fluent, you become a native speaker in music. The feelings you imagine, you can translate, and the sounds you hear in the world, you can also translate and know what they are. And this has, innumerable benefits in every area of music.
Cool. Let's try Sonofield. Mm-hmm. So when I first log in, they were locked. The level 2, 3, and 4, right?
That's right, exactly. Yeah. So you've done some work already, I can see.
Mm-hmm. If I go to level 1, if I play, I hear drawn and 1, 5. So, and C, it will be C, G, C, right?
Yes, 1, 5, 1. Just to clarify, we're numbering the notes of a scale, right? So instead of C, D, E, F, G, A, B, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And those numbers, scale degrees we call them, apply to every key universally. So when you learn something in Sonofield, it doesn't apply just to one key, it applies to all keys.
What happens here if I play the repeat? I know that it's a third. And it confirmed to me, I touched the 3 and gave me another one. So I will repeat. There's 1. 1 in another octave. So this is 3. 1, 1 is 1. So if I get right 30 questions, or roughly, I don't know, sometimes I go 28, it lets me pass. So I can unlock level 2, which has now the 5th, right?
That's exactly. So we slowly introduce new scale degrees one at a time. And say when you come to a new level like this, you might click on practice at the bottom, which would take you to a free play where the drone plays, and you can just tap around and experiment to learn, what does 5 actually sound like? What does it feel like?
That's the way that I normally do. After a while, I've memorized the feeling, but anytime that I have any doubt about if that's what I want, like I know that I have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, the traditional way of doing ear training is actually through melodic intervals. So people learn like, that's a 5th, or That's a minor third. That's a second, so on. And so then when you hear a melody, say, then people are supposed to say, okay, that's a sixth, that's going down a fourth, up a half step, up a whole step. You know, every note is just a distance from the next note. It's all about intervals. My method here is about just like the tonic, feels a particular way. And the tonic isn't a dead, inert sound. It has a quality to it. It has a felt quality, right, of perfection, of completion, of resolution, of stability, of calm, of whatever you want to call it. So my whole method here is about you learn to recognize the immediate, instinctive quality, the way that every scale degree feels in itself, not in its melodic motion, not using resolutions, not using any tricks, just the feeling itself. And the benefit of this is that once you've learned these feeling states, and they're all just as simple as this one, this is just one example of them. Once you've learned that, as music plays, or as you imagine music either way, the notes that are being played in the melodies or sung or whatever they are just appear to you. Now, you might not know what the key is, of course. You might not know what key the music is in, but I know that the melody goes, for instance, 1, 5, 4, 5, 2, 3, 2, 1. And then if I can figure out what the key is, which is the tonic recognition thing we talked about, then the job is done. I can figure out a melody without guessing. I always know exactly what it is.
So you're saying that instead of doing the method that I'm doing, that my work, it helps somehow to memorize the intervals. If I focused, especially if I come back and do the ones that are easy for me, if I come back and focus on the feeling, it will be much beneficial in the long run because I don't need to do all the calculation.
A lot of people, well, I shouldn't say a lot, some people have a very naturally gifted ear because they had early music exposure, or they sung in choirs when they were a child, or they played piano when they were 3, or whatever it happens to be. But for the rest of us who that's not the case, we usually have to train this over time. And if you don't even know that this is a thing, you end up not training it, and you train your fingers, and you train your eyes, and you don't train actually your ears and your feel for the music. The interesting thing is that even though I've been talking about sort of the benefits of ear training as far as, oh, you can pick a melody out by ear, oh, you can figure out chords by ear that you imagine or that you hear someone else play, or you can jam with somebody without having to ask them what key they're in, with what chords they're playing. You can always play along perfectly. That's all cool. It's good, obviously. But perhaps the most important thing, and this gets to your point, is that especially with this particular type of ear training where you need to be immersed in the feeling of notes, in the feeling of chords, not in the ideas about them, it puts you closer to the music, so to speak. It's a level of fluency with what music really is that allows you to actually be more musical in every way. The more that you are familiar with the actual substance of music, and what I'm saying the actual substance of music is feeling. That is, when you listen to a song, there's a flow of ever-shifting, weird, indescribable feelings that we learn later to label into, oh, that's a guitar, and that's a person singing, and that's a chord change, and that's a whatever. And that's all good. Of course, we need to know that stuff. But in a way, it takes you out of the sort of experience of a baby, of a newborn, of being immersed in this in its native state, in its actual state. And this type of ear training puts you back there, puts you back in getting familiar with the very essence of music. And this actually like pervades your whole being to the point where you actually feel musical. Not just, yes, I can recognize notes and chords, but there's something about I get how music works and I can manipulate it in that way, whether it's bending a note, choosing a chord, jamming with a friend, or even just dancing, listening, singing. All the musical expressions, somehow there's a deeper connection to them when it stops being purely intellectual and is actually about music's native language of feeling.
Você quer distribuir suas músicas sem pagar royalties, você quer plugins, você quer ferramentas de colaboração com seus clientes. O LANDR Studio é o pacote que vem tudo isso por um preço único, acessível. No LANDR Studio você tem o pacote standard, que vem o melhor custo-benefício e um dos pacotes mais recomendados pela LANDR, porque já vem com masterização ilimitado em MP3, vem com masterização em Wave pela plataforma, vem com masterização pelo plugin Standard, que é a versão mais simples do plugin que roda na sua DAW, então você já pode masterizar diretamente na sua DAW, economizando tempo. A distribuição digital limitada, onde você vai manter os royalties para você 100% seus enquanto você tiver o pacote da LANDR, e um pacote de plugins incrível para você já sair produzindo com qualidade. A gente tem também o pacote essencial, que é um pouco mais barato, ou Pro, que tem como exclusividade o LANDR Mastering Plugin Pro, que é o melhor plugin para você masterizar na sua DAW. Além de você levar muito mais plugins, o Pro é para quem já está começando a se tornar um profissional da produção musical, que é o plano que te entrega tudo top de linha para você começar a produzir com qualidade. LANDR Studio.
We can do like an interactive exercise where we talk on each interval that I figure out, and I will try to be honest. Oh, like I used the calculation, or no, I memorized the feeling. What do you think?
It. Yep, that's great. One thing I'll say is go with your immediate gut reaction. The instant the note gets played, say what you think it is. Even if it's wrong, that's fine, but that's how you know if you've got it or not. If there's any hesitation, if there's any sense of then no, you don't know it, of course. And you need to know that. You need to know that you don't know it so we can work on it.
So do you think we should go to a lower level so I'm more comfortable and not trying to impress the audience and, instinctively just go for it?
Yeah, whatever you feel comfortable
with. Let's try level 1. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So let me see how I feel about. So we're in a new key, and
yeah,
how it feels. It feels, as you said that there's a sweetness to it. Again, it fits well. It's complementary to 1 to me. It fits well, and it's just right, just perfect.
Now try playing sharp 4. Notes that are opposite on the circle feel most different from each other.
That's to me Lydian and my favorite movies that have
and
that
what is
soundtrack.
That, though? But what is that feeling?
It's
what is the Lydian feeling?
There's some kind of magic to it, magic and suspense, and there is some kind of, maybe depending where and how it appears, some kind of imminent danger if it's played in a way, specific way, because I'm a fan of Black Sabbath and it has this sound to give the impression of like a very dark thing. Maybe that's where I got this feeling. But the first thing is like Lydian and this magical and suspense and maybe opportunities to be reviewed.
Interesting you bring up these two qualities because, of course, each of these degrees really can be seen in 2 ways. We're calling this sharp 4 right now, which is the Lydian thing, but it could be flat 5. And of course, in the West, we're not normally taught that these actually feel different because they're the same note on a keyboard, F sharp in the key of C, it looks like G flat, but actually they do feel different. And when the note, this particular relationship, has the like, dark, heavy, like weird, demented kind of quality, that's the flat 5 feeling. Like you hear in a, let me see. So again, I wanted to know what the key was. I play a note, that's a 3, because it has the sweetness.
Okay.
And so I know the key must be F. So now I can play an F diminished chord, and that will cause the ear to hear this note as flat 5, not sharp 4, and listen to it. It feels like scary, like demented, like crazy, dark. Whereas if I play it in a different context,
oh yeah, definitely.
now it feels like, ooh,
sharp 4.
Sharp 4. So the ear will actually correct, even though in our Western tuning, they're the same exact pitch. If the context is right, the ear will shift the feeling to be the other one, whether it's sharp 1, flat 2, sharp 2, flat 3, sharp 4, flat 5, whatever it is. It makes a difference.
Really cool. And let's try something else.
So we can look at a couple of different modes in here. So if you go back out to the main screen and out from here with the back arrow at the top, then you can go to voice mode, let's say, and we can try. We'll go into level 1 voice mode. And now you need to sing the pitches into the microphone.
Okay. So I'll play and then I will need to sing whatever they give me in terms of intervals.
Exactly. So now it wants you to sing 3. So the way to do it is you bring the feeling state of 3 into you, like with a sweetness, the warm glow feeling of 3. Then you sing the pitch that matches that feeling. When you've got it, click the mic,
I see.
Sing, and while you're still singing, let go of the mic so that it knows what pitch you want, and you're good.
Ta. Oh, it's saying that I sang a flat 3.
Yeah.
I'm probably flat.
Right on the edge, but remember to don't stop singing until you let go of the button. Because if you stop singing first, it will listen to your room sound, and it might,
Okay, so try it again. Start singing. Hold the button. Release the button.
Yes.
Oh, I did the opposite. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, it helps.
So the idea is that you need to first learn the feeling state of a note through experiencing it, hearing it, singing against the drone, become familiar. Just like you're going to get to know a new friend, right? You need to see their face many, many times so that when you... Go ahead.
Because when I met you, I didn't know the difference between you and Connor.
Our other friend, yeah.
Yeah. Both a similar kind of biotype. I just arrived to Canada and I thought you were Connor first. I was not used to see probably white people that look like you all the time. So it took me a while to...
Yeah, so it's the same. And degrees that are close on the circle, like 1 and 5, 5 and 2, 1 and 4, 6 and 3, 6 and 2, any notes that are a fifth apart, they'll feel very similar to one another. And so you need to take time to get to know them through listening, through singing, through exercises. However, it's important to switch up the exercises you do. So you don't just do the degrees mode, you do the voice mode, you do the melodies mode, you do the free play.
I see.
Right? You need to get it from all perspectives because it's like, imagine you met a new friend, but you meet them in a photo studio and it's perfect lighting and they're naked and you can see imagine it, and you can see every detail. You can see every detail and you get to look as close as you want, whatever, and you really know. Then when you see them out in the world, they're in the backseat of a car and they're wearing a toque and they've got a coat on and they got a scarf on and they're twisting their head, it says like real music, right? It's guitars and strings and it's in the key of F, not C, and this is the way it goes. But if you can't recognize them in the photo studio, you're not gonna recognize them in the moving car. So the app is like the photo studio, and you learn these things from every possible direction so that when it's in real music, you know what you're listening for.
Perfect. And if my audience wants to start using this app, as I mentioned before, it's free. So if you want to get 20% off the pro version of the app, you can use my code or my link. The app is available for Android and for iOS, so you can use on your iPad. And I'm not sure the prices in Brazil because App Store and Google Play, they sometimes localize or not. I'm not sure, but the deal here, it's super good and it should be good enough in Brazil too. So I hope you guys use all the free stuff. And after that, if you feel it will benefit your music, I'm 100% sure that it will. You can buy that. If not, just sharing with your friends the free version. If you're a music teacher, show that your music school to your friends because it's much more advanced and much better than the competition out there. So I've tried those before and I get bored really easy and becomes mechanical and becomes a chore. I want something that is fun to do and is interactive and is made with love. Not that the others are not, but I know how much love, time, and money you put on that. So appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. My pleasure. Thanks for chatting. Anytime, of course, about this, about music, about life, about whatever. You know me.
So yes, follow Max, download the app, follow my channel if you are not a follower yet. If you want to see more content like that, leave it down below and we see you. Thank you.